In this video, we're going to talk about how to develop your weaker foot. Now, this is very important as most double bass drummers run into problems when their left foot cannot keep up or their weaker foot cannot keep up. So in developing this will help you with your speed, it's going to help you with your endurance, it's going to help you everywhere when you're playing the double bass. So what I've done is I've developed 8 simple exercises that are going to focus on your weaker foot. For me, it's my left foot. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually lock the hi-hats down, which I talked about in the previous lesson on warm-ups. And I'm going to move my left foot to my slave pedal. For the majority of these lessons, I'm only going to be using my left foot. It's going to focus on it. It's going to help me get my brain around playing with my left foot, and it's going to train it to actually play the notes with the right power and on the right time. So let's get going here. I got the first 2 exercises, which is just going to alternate 8th notes and 16th notes with my left and right foot. The first one's just simply 8th notes, and what you're going to want to focus on, not so much playing it fast, but playing them on time and with the same power. So when you're listening, try to hear how loud the bass drum is, and try to hear if they're completely in sync with the click. A lot of times people have almost like a gallop where the left foot will play very close to the right foot, and this is just because your muscles aren't used to playing at a certain time, and your muscles aren't used to playing at a certain tempo. So make sure you're focusing on playing them at the proper speed, and the power and the sound coming from the bass drum is equal. Let's try the first one. On to the next few exercises. These ones are more like drum beats, and I have my hi-hats locked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play just a straightforward beat, but I'm only going to use my left foot. And what I'm focusing on this time, not so much speed and endurance, it's going to be trying to hit the bass drum with my snare. I want those notes to hit at the same time for preciseness. When you're playing double bass, you're noticing that playing with your whole leg is a lot of work to get the notes sounding precise. And the reason is there's a lot of muscles down there, they're big muscles, and to get them precise is actually pretty tough. So when you're playing exercise number 3, for example, try to focus on when you actually need to start pushing down and when that beater is actually going to start hitting the bass drum. That's what's tricky. Getting that to line up with your snare takes some practice. So play this one at a slower tempo and try to work on the preciseness rather than the endurance. From there, we're going to go to number 4 and then 5, which has more 8th notes, and that'll help you with your endurance. But for now, let's work on preciseness. Number 6 is a very cool punk rock type of beat. And if you haven't already learned the slide technique or the heel toe technique, you might want to go back and learn those, because I'm going to use a little bit of the slide technique in this example. And this one's great for developing your speed on your weaker foot. So give this one a try. Now you may have seen this next one on some of the previous exercises on developing the slide technique or developing the heel toe technique. It's the same thing, just for developing the weaker foot as well. So let's give this one a try. The last exercise I'm going to teach you is a really cool hand-to-feet combination You've seen it everywhere. You've seen it on double bass. You've seen it on the heel toe technique video. You've seen it on the slide technique. This is a great example of how you can utilize that to practice your weaker foot. And it's basically 2 on the bass drum, 2 on the snare, 2 on the bass drum, 2 on the toms, just moving me around the kit. You can go wherever you want. I haven't notated around the drums, but if you want to stick with the snare, you can. It's a great exercise. Let's give this one a shot. So there are 8 basic examples of how you can practice on your weaker foot. Building up your left foot or your weak foot is essential if you want to be a good double bass player. You're only as fast as your weaker foot. There's another thing that I want to talk about, and that is practicing a full practice session with your left foot. So instead of doing these exercises, which are great, you might want to just lock your hats down and do a full practice session only using your left foot. It's a lot trickier than you think, because all these songs that you're used to playing or these beats that you're used to playing with your right foot, you might not be able to do with your left foot. So it's a real challenge. With my band, we have sometimes up to 2-hour practice sessions, and sometimes I will get bored of practicing with my left foot, or my right foot, sorry. So what I'll do is I'll actually lock my hats down and play the whole practice session with my left foot. The tricky things you're going to have to do are find other ways of playing open hi-hats, because obviously you're going to be locking them down. So instead of having an open hi-hat for a chorus, you might need to switch it to a crash cymbal or switch it to a ride. That's not too important. And if your bandmates ask you, what are you doing? Just say, I'm practicing my left foot. They should understand. So what I'm going to do for you now is I'm going to play one of my band's tracks. My band is called Yucca, and I'm going to play it strictly using my left foot. So you're going to notice that I'm going to be going to the crashes and the ride cymbal a lot more because I can't open the hi-hats. Also, I'm going to be playing different patterns on my left foot where I can't go as fast on my right foot. It's really cool. Challenge yourself by doing this. Maybe pop in your MP3 player, play some of your songs that you already know how to play, but try it with your left foot. It's a great challenge and a great way to work out your weaker foot. Check this out. So that's just me playing a song that I played quite a bit on my right foot, but I'm practicing it only playing my left foot. And you're going to notice that I'm simplifying some of the beats, simplifying some of the fills because I am trying to develop my left foot. And that's all in the process. So if you're switching to your left foot and you're noticing that you can't play as fast or you're not as creative, that's fine. It's just all in the process of developing your weak foot. I hope those lessons helped. Do that as much as you can because seriously, you're only as fast as your weak foot. I'll see you on the next lessons.